Hey guys, my name is Brian, and today we are putting new Koni front struts on our 67 Porsche. Let's get into it. Alright, so today we're going to replace the struts on our 1967 Porsche. Oh, there's here the shop dog. I'm going to go ahead and get this, jack up the car. If you need to know how to jack up your Porsche 911 or 912, I'll put a link up over here for you. And let's get this jacked up. We'll get that wheel off of there, and we'll start to take a look at what we need to do to replace the front struts on a Porsche 911 912. Now that we have the car jacked up, we need to get this nut off. For me, it's a 21 millimeter, and you're going to need either a air impact or a cordless impact, because if you try to do it by hand with just a ratchet, it'll spin on you. So let me grab a 21 millimeter nut or socket, and let's get that sucker off. All right, here we go. And she's off. Cool. There's that nut. Now you get a new nut in your kit from Koni. And there's that. Notice how that goes up. You know, don't have one. There's a washer. Man. And then there it is. They want to push that back down. But there's a rubber grommet or rubber stop that we have to pull out right there. But we'll grab that in a minute. Let's go ahead and get this shock out. All right, here we are. We've got that wheel off. And we're going to go up into there. We're going to pull out the shock. And all we're going to do is just basically, you're just going to put your hand and you're just going to pull this down. There we go. I just pulled down on that. And that pretty much released us for the most part. See if we can't get this to come down just a little bit more. I'll pull this down. You can see there's daylight. There it is. There it is. And there's the bottom part of that mount that we got. Then this here part just kind of slides out. As you can see, it's missing the fender there. You can kind of wiggle it around a little bit. Take off your dust shield. And it looks like this person had the extra stop. We're not going to do that when we put ours back together. We're just going to use the normal 3. We'll take that off. And then there's this big ass flange. It's not really a nut, it's a flange. Let me see if I can zoom in on that one for you. So this is that flange. Now, it depends on what you have. It depends on what this is going to look like. The Konis come with one that has a gland nut adjustment on it. These here, actually, when we pulled the other side out, these were old KYBs, and I'll show you what they look like. So the KYBs came with these. But whatever kit you buy, they will normally, especially with Koni, they will come with new gland nuts. So to get this off, we're going to use a big pair of channel locks or a pipe wrench and just twist this sucker off. So let me grab that tool and let me see if I can't pull this strut insert out of our car. Okay, so there's daylight up there. There's that mount. You don't even have to worry about this. Just leave it there. You can, when you go to get an alignment, they'll move those bolts around to adjust it. But for now, just pull this out. So just pull it down, and there she is. And we'll undo this. Up and off it comes. Kind of see what that looks like. And this just lifts straight out. There she is. Right on. Now, you're asking yourself, oh, the blues, they kind of match. That is a quinky dink. I painted my blues, and I'll point a link to the video I did on rebuilding the front suspension on this car. But originally these were a little bit darker blue, kind of a mud blue from Boge. And that's one of the things you want to check. So if you get your dust cover, that was the one that was on top of this, on it, it's going to tell you, let's see if I can close it. See where it says Boge right there? So this car came equipped with Boge, which most of your Porsche, early Porsches did. The other option was Bilstein. Now Bilstein is green, like a leaf green forest. No, not as dark as a forest green, but like a leaf green. You have to make sure that you replace the insert with the type of strut you have, because the Bilstein strut looks different than a Boge strut. Now in later cars, I think they all went to Bilstein, but before you order, double check what you have in your car before you hit that buy button online or wherever. So that's done. I do want to show you this though. This is, if I can find it here, right there. This is a KYB insert. It's KC4505. They don't make them anymore, but you can still buy a KYB insert for these cars, and they're going to run you only like about 50 bucks a piece. So if you're on a budget and you don't care in a sense, or you're in a tight spot or whatever, you can get KYB replacements. There's a new model number, but they will. So one of the issues, if you do happen to run into a set of KYBs inside here, and if they're not Konis, make sure you look down in there and see right there, if I can zoom in on that, that's a washer. Because, and I'll show you here in a minute, the Konis are taller than the KYBs. So they have to put a washer about, you know, a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch in there, so these will set up to where they will work. But for now, I'm gonna grab me a magnet, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna pull that sucker out, and then I'll show you the difference between the two shocks, or two struts. This is our Koni replacement insert. That's the part number right there. Now this is for the classic, early first gen Porsche 911s and 912s. You get the new shock, or the strut I should say. You get all new bushings, you get new stops, new top plates, new washers, you get everything new. And this is the gland nut that goes on. So you need to have a special tool, and it's one of these guys. And I'll put a link to where you can buy one of these. But that is how you screw those down. So those pins just go down in there and you take care of it. But let me now show you the size difference between the KYB that was in the car. Now originally, these cars came with Boges or Bilsteins. But so for us, someone put a KYB in at some point in time in the last 50 years. I'm going to show you the Koni version. Hold on. So this is the difference between the two. So everything looks good, looking good, looking good, looking good. And see the height difference? So that's why the last owner had to put a spacer in at the bottom of the insert tower in order to bring this up to where it would screw down and you would be able to lock it into place. So let's go ahead and let's get out that washer and we'll go from there. Okay, down into the abyss we go. There she is. That is our spacer, and it's a little fluidy. I just want to talk a minute about fluid. Some guys believe you should put a couple drops of oil in the bottom of your strut housing for your insert. You know, I'm kind of like 50-50. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of get it. Gives us some lubrication to whatever. But for us, we're just going to go dry and not put anything down there and just run with it. But that's the spacer. So that there, no need to keep that, toss it, or if you're a normal Porsche guy, we never throw anything away, right? Because we will save all of this crap because you never know, one day, somehow, someplace, you're going to need it. And so you'll, yeah. And that's a different project we'll talk about later. But That is all the old parts, which will not be thrown away. They will go into a bag and tossed into the Porsche, hoarding bundle. These Konis that I bought are adjustable, as you can see. And the way you adjust these is by pushing it down until it locks into a fork or mechanism at the bottom, and then twisting it. I didn't record it on camera, but I'm going to link to Mike's Restorations, who's also doing a 67 Porsche 911S up in the corner, on how to do this. He shows it a little bit better with more instruction, and I just kind of want to let you guys watch his video. And matter of fact, you should subscribe to his channel. A lot of my inspiration to tackle this car on my own came from Mike, so thank you, Mike, so much for the videos. We love them. But check that video out on setting these up for your 911 or 912 application. So now that I've done that, I've set these, turned them all the way to soft, pulled it up. It's time to put this bad boy in. Let's get to it. Now we need to drop these in. You simply put them in, drop them down. Now that's down in there. You can see it's seating correctly. Take our gland nut. We're going to put a little bit of Loctite on this and then screw it on down. Loctite on. Down she goes. Put her into place. Kind of line it up here. There she goes. Next, we'll set our gland nut in there. There's that one on the top. All right, we got it in, and then you're just gonna tighten that down to 95 foot-pounds. Let me go ahead and get that done for us. Okay, so we have this now torqued down all the way to 95 foot-pounds. That is our bump stop. That goes on just like that. I want to take our bushing. This tapered end goes down. So up on top it goes. Push it down. And then we're going to pull this up a little bit. Put our dust cap on it. Okay, now that dust cap. There it goes. Then we're going to push this into place and line it up with right there. And we're just going to take a jack and put underneath here. Oh, put our jack and just lift this up into place, and then we'll start work from up there. So let's get that jack. Let's get that into place. We got our jack in place to jack it up. Next, we need to put this part with just one of the bushings. Put that on there. Now we can position that inside there and jack it up. Okay, so the strut is all the way up and through. We're going to take our other one, put it on there. There we go. Got it set down in there. Next, we're going to take our washer, and our washer has a little tab that lines up with the hole. Just like that. And then the washer has that same tab in it. Safety washer, and it goes on there like that. And our nut. And let's screw it down in there. Cool. Now do not torque this until after the car is on the ground with full weight. So that'll be our next thing we do, is put the wheel back on and we'll torque this. So let's get this baby back on the ground. Okay guys, that wraps up our strut install on this 1967 Porsche. All that's left to do now is do a wheel alignment in the front and the back. So my next videos should be on how to do a front and then how to do a back wheel alignment. Now this is not anything other than just to get in the ballpark for you then can get to yourself to a Porsche shop and have them do a professional wheel alignment on your Porsche. But it's great for if you're at the track, or if you just did a bunch of work like I have on the front and rear suspension of your car, you can at least get it back somewhere close to specs. That way you can at least drive it to where you need to go to get it aligned. All right guys, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe and share this video out with your friends. Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.